Hi Vijay, you just joined in.
Hi. How are you?
Good Vijay, great. So I was just sharing with the viewers the whole idea of the Pictorial Cafe and Travelers Hope series. So the whole idea was to kind of try and talk to people who've kind of gone through their journey and then try and understand from them what it meant to kind of fight it out. People sometimes tend to think success is kind of quite easy to come by, or luck has a great role to play. So we thought we'll kind of use this period where the entire economy, people, companies are going through such tough times, what it meant for people, and also get to know you as a person and some interesting trivia. So with that, let's get started with the show. Thank you once again, guys, for
Yeah.
coming in. Quickly, so today we have Vijay with us on the show. So Vijay, interestingly, was one of the only three people to have taken a wicket on the World Cup in the first ball. So I think that's that's something that's going to take a while for that list to get populated. But even otherwise, I think Vijay's story has been really inspiring. Coming in from the Ranji circuit, then moving into India ABC teams, and then finally donning the India jersey. So Vijay, really happy that you could join us on the show. So welcome on the show.
Thank you so much.
Great. So starting off, I think
So
everybody's mind,
yeah,
like how is this quarantine? Somebody who's up and about, always fit and traveling and playing. How are you handling this entire lockdown and quarantine? How's it been on you?
definitely, it's a little difficult, not easy for. I think for everyone it would be very difficult because to stay at home for more than like we can stay home for a while, but then we need to keep doing some activities for us to be really active. But this has been a very testing time for us. But these things you cannot do anything. You'll have to understand the situation and just accept this. And how what I'm doing at home is just trying to train every day, morning and evening. Like I'm just trying to spend 1 hour, morning and evening, so that I keep myself little busy, and most importantly I get little tired because it's very hard for us to sleep early during such time, and we wake up really late. So I don't want to make that a habit. So I just thought, okay, all my friends together we plan to just train in the morning, and then give ourselves some time, and then evening I do it on my own. So that's what
So
I've been doing.
what's your go-to fitness app? What do you use to kind of stay fit? Any tips for viewers listening in?
Uh, App, I think there are a lot of things there on YouTube, and also like most importantly, it's not that you need a lot of equipments to really train. If you want to keep yourself fit, I think you can find ways to do that. And also, like in YouTube or Google, if you just have to Google some body weight workout or something, you'll get thousands of exercises which you can do. And I'm sure if you do that, you'll at least spend 1 hour with that.
So I think one of the
I've
things you
got my
said.
friend here. I've got my friend who messaged here asking me what time do I sleep. I try to sleep at least by 11 these days, but it's pretty tough. But whatever the like, I think initially the first few days I've been sleeping at 1:32. Now at least I'm trying to reduce that. So if I sleep by 12, which is also late for my standards, but then I try and wake up by 6:30 and do a training session, get really tired, and then I go to sleep. With that, it's fine. But I should wake up by 6:30 or 7.
So what's the Netflix series that you kind of caught on?
I just finished Money Heist, so I'm
Okay.
not a big, I'm not someone who sits a lot on that. But nowadays you have no other
I think
work.
all of us are ending up sleeping late. So it kind of feels good that you're alone in that sleeping late
Yeah,
cycle.
yeah.
Great. So Vijay, if I could kind of take a step back and understand, your initial days, how it felt like for all your fans here also who've logged in, coming in from a town like Tirunelveli, what it was, what really drew you to cricket, and kind of your initial days, if
Uh,
you could talk about a little bit.
I was born in Tirunelveli, but was brought up here. But then my family, everyone, my dad, my brother, they're all into cricket. They all love the sport. And through my school, modern school, which is in Nakanadu, through that school, I started getting into an academy, and then uh, just slowly started playing for districts and state. So that's how it started, and it's been a very long journey. So, a lot of experiences and lot of learnings for our life, not just cricket. I think we learn a lot on how to go about life, how to talk to a individual. All these are a great learning for me.
So, I mean, sticking to that point you just made, so I mean, playing competitive sports itself is difficult, and getting cricket is one of the most competitive sports in India, right? If you could talk us through like what really, I mean, while obviously family has kind of played cricket, but what kind of drove you to kind of stick at it, especially during the lows that you mentioned? What really drove you?
I've actually told this a lot, but I decided this when I was 16 or 17. Like I decided to take cricket as a profession. Before that, I was playing for state and all, but then that was the time where you need to take a decision whether you're going to continue playing cricket or you're going to take some other thing. But that was the time I remember my dad asked me, "What is that I'm going to do?" And I told him, "Okay, I'm going to take this as my profession." And then what the most important thing is to just keep training really hard. There is no substitute for that. You just have to work really hard to I won't say to achieve something, but at least to be in that level which you want to play. You need to keep working hard, and if you want to achieve something, you need to push yourself more than what you've been doing.
So, I mean, if you could speak about specific moments, for example, so at 16, 17, you decided to kind of commit yourself fully into professional cricket, right? And though you've committed and you've kind of decided to work hard, there must have been phases where it is not going your way, where you were really not, things were not clicking. Like, could you talk about one of those phases, how it felt like, and what are some of the things that we could take back from your own experiences as we kind of aim to survive these difficult times?
Well, I think that's what I told. Like when you learn a lot about life, it's just not about the sport. Like during the ups or downs or whatever, uh, the only thing that you can do at that time is train really hard and keep yourself away from all the negative thoughts, which will creep in so easily when things are not going your way. So if you can just hold on to it, and if you can just train really hard and be busy with things, that's the best way to come out of any negative mindset that you're in, and which is very normal. Like you know, I think everyone will go through all these things. It's not just people will keep doing well and keep they'll play the highest, and everyone will go through something or the other to get better in our life. So I think these are part of our life, and it's very important to take things rightly, and just have to find a way to get better from each and every situation.
So if you had to kind of not think about, okay, you've trained hard, but were there some things that either a bunch of friends or anything that you did for yourself that kind of helped you along this phase?
Yeah, definitely. My family, my very close friends, my personal coach, and everyone. I think I'm someone who don't interact much with people. Like I have my own set of close friends with whom I generally spend a lot of time when I'm in Chennai. So that's why I have a very small circle, and I look to be with them, and that is a phase where you need to find a way. If you are with the right people, if you have the right people around you, then you can somehow forget that negative things or whatever and come out of it easily.
Great. So moving on, I think one of the questions that coming across is if you were a batsman and you were scoring 1,000th run, who would you like to be commentating? Harsha Bhogle, Ravi Shastri?
Ravi Shastri.
Okay. And if you were taking a very quiet, very close LBW call, it would be Simon Toffel or Billy Boden. Who would you want as an umpire?
Simon Truffle because I recently played a match in New Zealand where Billy Bowden was umpire. So
Okay, great. And if not a cricketer, what do you think you would have become? Or
no
what would you
idea.
like to become?
Everyone, so many people have asked me this, but I have no idea because, right from 12, 13, we've been playing cricket, and I told you 16 or 17, I decided this, and so I don't know. It's very hard to answer this. I have
So
said
any
in so many interviews that maybe a musician, but then I don't know if I would have really continued doing that
any
because
news?
I tried,
Sorry, I was asking
I
any new
tried couple
skills.
of instruments.
I was going to come there only. Any new skills you have picked up in these 2 weeks that have given you some ideas to what you could have become if not for a cricketer?
No, actually, I had a couple of instruments with me. One was guitar, and the other one was flute. But then, since I didn't use both, I gave it to my friend. So I don't have the guitar with me right now. Maybe I would have tried learning that, but I can say it no because I don't have it. I don't know if I would have done that.
Great. Coming back to cricket, could you talk us through? I know it could be oft repeated question, but how does it actually feel to don that blue jersey? Like your moment, how did it feel being part of the Indian team and we received your cap? Could you talk us through that mental state of yours at that point in time?
Uh, it was obviously a dream come true for it. Definitely, it will be a dream come true for any cricketer because when you start playing cricket, your goal will be or your aim will be to play for India. When you wear that, it's very hard to explain that feel because the time you get the cap, you'll be literally flying.
Great. And you're taking it back to the World Cup debut when you had that first ball wicket, right? And that too against the overall arch nemesis Pakistan, right? I mean, what was running through your mind when you kind of picked up that over, and how was that? Can you talk us through that as well, if possible?
Uh, I wasn't actually expecting to bowl at that time, but then when I got the wicket, uh, it was just out of the world because that was my World Cup debut, and to play against Pakistan was something which I've dreamt of, and the whole world would have been I'm sure they would have been watching. Yeah, so it was a great feel, to start to be in a national anthem or to play, to be part of each and every second was something which I'll definitely cherish.
So if I could kind of quickly transport you to the other end of the emotion, the final over, Nidas Trophy, right? And you really couldn't connect that ball. So, like, how do you handle these extreme emotions? How was it to be at that point in time? That feeling, how was it?
It was difficult for a few days, but then, as I said earlier, it is just about, it is very important for us to handle things correctly. And as I said earlier, it's very important for us to find a way in which you can keep yourself really busy. You should not give your time. That's what I did. I didn't give myself more time to think about what went wrong because things have already gone wrong and you cannot change that. So what I did was I just trained really hard. I just practiced really hard, and then I went to the IPL immediately, and I had a good IPL. So one innings will not decide anything for us. It's just part of our career. You're gonna play thousands of innings, and you're gonna play thousands of matches. So one innings is just part of anyone's career.
And in general, if you had to kind of recollect and say, hey, in my across my cricket career, this piece of advice really changed my perspective or really had a deep impact on me. What would that advice be?
Uh, I got advice from MS Dhoni once during the New Zealand series, and he said, "Be it high or low, just try to remain neutral." So I think that was one of the best.
Okay, super. So I think one of the other points that keeps coming up, especially for a lot of us who are working professionals, is that work-life balance. How do you manage family and stuff? And for somebody like you who's into professional sports and you are either out training or playing various tournaments within or outside the country, what is actually family and how do you kind of balance all of it out? And could you talk us through how do you guys manage that?
We'll actually find a way. Like whenever you get time, you actually, you call or you talk to them. There is a, max that you can do when you're traveling. So at least it's important for us to be in touch. It's important for us to, talk every now and then. So that's what I do. Like when I travel, I just try and make sure I'm in touch with my family. I'll just tell them I'm doing this, doing that every day, like morning and evening. So they'll be happy about it. So that's the only thing you can do. Now at least you have the video call, so you can do a lot of video calling and all.
So and are there moments that you really felt that I think the overall policy also is changing where family is a lot more integral part of tours compared to what it was before. But have you ever felt that having family by your side in such crucial moments really makes such a big difference, or is it a lot of pressure that they say sometimes it's a distraction, sometimes they say it's positive? What's your take there on that?
Definitely, for me, they've always been there with me. Like since the time I started playing cricket till now, they've always been very supportive, like my whole family. So I think it is very important for people to get family support as well, because that is one side of the life where you don't have to think much. Like they'll always be there for you, so you don't have to worry what's happening. You just have to focus on the game. So I think it will be very important for people to have family support.
So given you've traveled across because of having played various stadiums, do you have any specific country that you really felt, hey, I had more time to explore and not just play and come back?
I'm someone, I generally don't go out. Like when I travel for matches, I just go play my match, practice, train. Maybe I go out for dinner or something, but I'm not someone who go out to explore things. But this was the first time where in New Zealand, I saw my friend's message also here, Mr. Sandeep Warrior. Myself and Sandy, we both planned, okay, let's go out for 2-3 days of a trip and then get back to India. So this was the first time I did that.
So how was that experience? I mean, bungee jumping, I'm super scared of heights personally, and I mean, it was really, I went till that jumping point, then I had to come back. But how was it for you? Like, could you run us through the experience?
To be very honest, I wouldn't have definitely done that because it was not even there in the list, for me. So I love driving, and I love driving. So when I was driving, when we were about to cross that bungee jumping place, my friend Sandeep Warrior, he just, without even asking things, he just booked for both. And I was like, I will come there, but I'm not jumping. I'm also shit scared about height and all these things. But then Sanjay from Pick Hotel, we both studied together. We both studied in the same school and everything. So he called me and he said he should try, and he arranged a lot of things there. So when I went there, I just told, okay, I'm not going to look down, because the most scariest part was to see other people jumping. So the way they jump and everything was actually very difficult to see. But then the time I went in, I just told myself, okay, I'm not going to look down. When everything is ready, I'm just going to jump. It's okay, whatever happens. Anyways, I'm going to come back up. So that's how it just happened. It was a great experience.
So what's the next such daring thing on your bucket list? Now that you've done once,
Nothing. I wouldn't have done anything. Bungee and skydiving, I think these two were like the extremes. I don't think I would do any such thing after this. And I remember Sanjay, he told me, he asked me to try the, what is that swing?
Nevis swing.
Yeah, I saw that, and Nevis swing, and then also the water touch. No chance, never. It's very difficult to even watch that.
So, I mean, the same thing happened to me when they kind of took me into US, and then my brother lives there, and they booked a skydiving session, and I can totally feel you. It's super scary, and you really have to just close your eyes and just But then once you're in the air, you feel very different. I mean, once you're midway, I don't know
Yeah,
how you
yeah,
feel, you're suddenly enjoying it a lot
yeah.
more. Yeah.
Yes.
Great. So I have a list of rapid fire questions for you, Vijay, coming towards the end of the conversation. So I'm not going to give you too much time, so maybe hardly 2-3 seconds, but so we'll just get started off. What's the first thing that comes to mind when you think of the word travel?
Experience.
Experience. Name 2 languages you cannot speak but you wish to learn.
Very difficult. I don't know. I've not thought about it actually.
Okay, we'll pass that.
I'm happy with Tamil, English, and little bit of Hindi.
I think there's a lot of viewer requests for you to learn also. I think because you play for, there's also Telugu requests coming in. There's also requests of you speaking in Hindi. I think.
I understand a bit of Telugu and Malayalam, but then it's hard for me to speak.
Okay.
I try and speak to few things. My friend is messaging Hindi and all. I try and speak a little bit of Malayalam with my friend, but no chance.
Great. Tell me 3 things you always shop for when you travel, irrespective of the place.
I shop for my niece wherever I go. That's the first thing that I do.
You shop for? Sorry?
My niece. Niece.
Okay, your niece. Okay. That's a very safe answer.
Yeah, but that's what I do. Then I love perfume. Then shades.
Okay. Great.
So I love shades and perfume.
Okay. A food combo that you've never tried before, but thanks to travel, you've kind of tasted and now it's your favorite food.
Sorry, what is that?
A food combination or a food dish that you haven't tasted before, but now after having tasted has now become your favorite.
Japanese.
Any specific?
I never knew Japanese. They had good vegetarian dishes. So again, thanks to my friend Sandeep Varia because of him, I think I went to a lot of new places.
I think if you get Sandeep along, we might get a lot more interesting stories about you on this. If you get Sandeep along.
Actually, he's actually messaging. I'm seeing 1 or 2 messages from him, but then it's better if he's not here.
Okay. So what's the best thing that's happened to you on a holiday? I'm guessing that's also because of Sandeep. But what's the best thing that's happened to you on a holiday?
These 2 things, the bungee and skydiving.
I guess. Great, Vijay. Thanks a lot for coming in. If there's one last message that you want to leave your audience, viewers and fans with in such testing times, if you just talk about what does hope mean for you and what is that they should be trying to do, what would your advice be?
Definitely, it's important for us to stay indoors and stay safe. We all know it's very difficult for us to sit like this and do nothing, but if we can just get past this whatever time, like another month or whatever the government says, if we can get past that, I think then we might have our normal life back. So to get our normal life, we need to definitely respect all these, and definitely we should look to stay indoors and keep ourselves fit, most importantly, by whatever training that you can do at home. It's very important for us to do that and keep ourselves fit, and just enjoy this moment because you don't get much time to spend time with your family. I think there's a time for us to spend time with family, so might as well use this chance and get out of it as quickly as we can.
Great. Thank you, Vijay. Thank you for coming by and being part of the show. Wishing you a very good evening and looking forward to see you on the blue jersey very soon. Thank you. Thanks again.
Thank you.